I told my friend with a stutter he couldn't act in my short film. My friend Marcus has been my best friend since middle school. He's one of the funniest, smartest people I know, but he has a pretty severe stutter that makes conversations take a lot longer than normal. I've been working on this short film for my senior project all semester. It's about this girl who has to give a speech to save her family's business, and I've been dreaming about submitting it to film festivals after graduation. This project could literally change my future if it gets noticed by the right people. When I first mentioned I was making a movie, Marcus got so excited. He kept asking when auditions were, and if I needed any actors. I kept changing the subject because honestly, I never even considered him for a role. The main character has to deliver this powerful 5-minute monologue, and there's no way Marcus could get through that without stopping every few words. But Marcus wouldn't let it go. He started watching acting videos on YouTube and practicing in front of his mirror. He even bought this expensive acting book and kept showing me scenes he'd been working on. Every time we hung out, he'd bring up the film and ask when he could read for a part. Last week, I posted on Instagram that I was holding auditions this Saturday. Marcus immediately texted me asking what time he should show up. My stomach just dropped. I'd been avoiding this conversation for months, and now I had to tell him the truth. I tried to suggest other ways he could help. I told him I really needed someone to help with directing and that he'd be amazing at working with the crew. But he just kept saying how much he wanted to try acting and how this could be his big break too. The worst part was when he told me he'd been practicing his speech exercises extra hard because he wanted to do his best for my movie. He'd literally been going to speech therapy twice a week instead of once, spending his own money just so he could hopefully be in my film. I finally had to be direct. I told him that the main role required someone who could deliver long speeches without any interruptions, and that his stutter might make that difficult. I felt terrible saying it, but I had to be honest. Marcus went completely quiet for like 30 seconds. Then he asked if there were any smaller roles, maybe just a few lines here and there. I explained that even the smaller parts had important dialogue that moved the story forward. He got really quiet and said he understood, but I could tell he was crushed. He'd been so excited about this, and I basically told him he wasn't good enough because of something he can't control. That night, I felt awful. Marcus had been nothing but supportive of my dreams, and when he finally asked for something, I shot him down. I started thinking maybe I could rewrite some scenes or find a way to work around it. The next day, I called him back. I told him I'd been thinking, and what if we created a character specifically for him? Someone who didn't need to talk much but was still important to the story. Maybe the business owner's brother who communicated more through actions than words. Marcus was quiet for a minute, then said he appreciated me trying to include him, but he didn't want a pity role. He said he'd rather help behind the camera and learn about filmmaking instead of acting like his stutter was something to hide. We ended up making him my assistant director, and honestly, he was incredible at it. He had ideas I never would have thought of and kept the whole crew organized. When we submitted the film, I made sure his name was listed as co-director because he'd earned it.